Loosely translated, shut up. You ever hear of that book called Shut Up and Dribble? It means shut up. It means quit exposing me. Quit exposing what I do to others. Right? So it wants to remind you, obey the abuser, which is the system design. Yeah. That's why somebody mentioned the other day, they failed. They failed. They failed. They failed. They failed. They failed. That's a system failure. 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 Checking all the boxes. All right. Now we're back into engineering as engines, like biotechnology engines. And I read something, I think it might have been on Circle of Dolphins. It might have been in the portal. I can't remember where it was. And of course, I've known this forever. When we talked about, you know how it is with words and how we define the words and how we translate what the words actually mean to us based on what we've experienced. It's held in memory, what we learned through our experience. So I'll use the word they use, priest or priestess, as like in the socket and the plug joined as one. Right? So in other words, your consciousness is the entire consciousness spectrum of creation energy. Right? So you're experiencing being one. The first magnet, the first recorder, the first recording system, the permanent records, cosmic fire. And so, and I know that I did a couple of videos based on what I've learned that I share with all of you, what's held in planetary, galactic, universal, and cosmic memory banks, right? We all have records. We're meticulous record keepers. Sound recorders, sound recording devices, right? And so it was mentioned in those words, those letters, the fire letters of the frequencies, the frequency modulation spheres, that there was a divide. So you know what dividers and multipliers are. Adders and subtractors, like baking a cake, carob cake. That there was a divide between the spiritual community or the spiritual learning community, what was known as the priests and priestesses, right? And the technology sector, or the divide or the disagreement, or there's not harmony and there's not balance. It's perfectly matched to experience pure, eternal, absolute love, like a match made in heaven. There's an imbalance between what? The learning community, the spiritual learning community, and the scientific community. So the tech community, the tech operators, the technology, the inception of pure, eternal, absolute love, and technology, the development of technology and technology transfer. So you have the scientific technology folks that spend all their time and energy in the technology sector, right? And then you have spirits that spend their energy in the learning community because we're on fire to learn, because we're with the fastest learner, the highest speed learning, the highest electrical speed learning is the source of all electrons. I do not hold on to one electron. Okay. I'm out of electrons right now, held in a bank account. I don't know how many are left. I stopped paying attention to that. So I figure if I run out and the system through the magnetic strip lets me know, hey, you don't have any more access to those electrons tied directly to your biometric account. Now we can go back to the solar-coded bonds, right? Tied to 1492, 1933, House Joint Resolution 1492, how all these mathematical numbers are tied directly to a water table, water columns, atmospheric pressure, right? PSI codes at particular points in experiencing, being at that point, the point at which we complete a circuit, the speed at which we're completing a circuit, to recover, to restore what's been lost, which is our power. So we already know that an eternal engine is the source of all power. And that's what love is. Because love does no harm. So if we're experiencing harm, there's something wrong with the system, which is a system design, right? Just like that little bug. It gets activated. I'm going to bug you. I'm going to distract you and cause you to experience something that you don't like to experience because you're not supposed to experience it. But I'm going to cause you to experience that because that's what I am. Remember, now I'm back to my childhood. You are what you are, but I'm not what you are. You are what you are. I am what I am, which is what love is. And how that relates to engineering, mathematical engineering, the logic of math, the base platform, the eternal platform, the eternal communication system, the eternal template, which is a tempo, which is a breathing tempo. Breathing right on time. Right? So we're not experiencing breathing anymore miasma. We're not breathing any more shadow body stuff. Clearing the shadow body, right, is restoration, which is healing. The speed at which we're recovering what's been lost. Shattered crystals, soul fragments, fragments of consciousness that went black mirror. Now that becomes an aggregate, right? Formations, as in formatting, the system format, the holographic format, the holographic design, the system design, the system design engineering. So that's why we're here, right? Which is to rebuild what's been lost, which is the law. Love is a law. End of story. All right. Remember the book by Terence McKenna? How did that title go, Mama? The End of History and the Rebirth of God. That's what it is. I call it a reunion, right? To remember. The Great Awakening is the great remembering. We never forgot. We never forgot what love is. We never forgot love is the law. That's the highest law there is. That's source. It's pure, eternal, absolute love. To do no harm. Which means you already know that source is not going to do any harm to itself. Therefore, it's not doing any harm to any others. So eternal love is equally sharing. So they're all experiencing being loved. And that's what the law is. That's what we are. And that's what elemental command authority is. Source is the highest commander. Yeah? Okay, so that makes it easy to read. What I call reading the terrain, the terraforming terrain, the form and flow of the holographic terrain, right? And so I just keep it simple. I hope you're all having a great day, and it's progressing. I've always put it this way: it's right on time. It's happening just exactly the way it's supposed to happen. That's why throughout my entire life, I implicitly trust my journey. Whatever's supposed to happen is supposed to happen. I'm supposed to experience that because I will naturally bring it back into balance, right? Which is called restoration, which is atmospheric balance. So I'm experiencing calm waters, calm down. So I realize, particularly as it relates to nerve damage, you know, what it means to be burned out. Your nerves, frying your nerves. Your nerves just cannot handle that damage anymore. It's being done to the DNA, the living consciousness of living DNA, the central nervous system of the cosmos, which are what? Feelings. What we feel electrically. How electrically sensitive we are, which is sensory capacity. Right? So when you have eternal capacity, because you're experiencing an eternal echo, to experience pure, eternal absolute love, we are feeling everything. It is alive as a circuit. as a living spirit, as a living being, as a living unit of consciousness. Units of energy, units of atmospheric energy. How are you doing atmospherically? How's your weather? So you're running a weather channel. So we're running weather platforms. How's the weather over in your area? Hey, it's calm blue waters. I'm not experiencing any turbulence, which means I'm not experiencing any endocrine disturbances. Oh, the endocrine disturbances. Yeah, the hormones, the chemical messengers, the neurons. Right? Generating a gazillion neurons. Neuron generators. Yeah, the generator of all neurons, the original neurons, right? The World Wide Web of neurons. Hydrologic generators. Tetrahydrolase fused with helium. The noble gases, noble liquids. A lava tube. A lava tube be what love is. A volcano. Be a volcano for a day. Imagine being a volcano. Imagine spinning a volcano. And then your figure comes up in the flames right up out of that volcano. And then I can say, Heidi, there you are. I captured a picture saying hi to us when Kill Away went off. When was that, Mama? 2018? And I put a couple of those pictures up. Powerful stuff, huh? Muave.